Hello and welcome back to the Jonas.net. My name is Donald Jonas. This is the second video of my two-part video series on dynamic DNS over DHCP. In the first video, we covered the configuration of the bind DNS server, and if you followed along, we left off within webmin on the bind DNS server page. We are using, the distribution is CentOS version 5.5. Excellent Linux distribution based upon Red Hat Enterprise Edition. So now on to DHCP. In the left hand column in the webmin interface there is a DHCP server. We have subnets and shared networks, hosts and host groups, and DNS zones. I would like to put a configuration in each one of these groupings. So on the third option on this menu, under config, I have taken the liberty as a time-saving measure to create a configuration file. And I will just paste that and save it. And there it populated these zones, or I should say these groupings. Under the DNS zone, we have the forward zone, remember Linux.local, and the reverse lookup zone. Here we have hosts and host groups, and there is the Linux host. And under subnets and shared networks, we have the network we set up. These icons are all clickable, so if you want to do a more advanced configuration, you can have at it. You can configure it as there's so many levels you can configure this. This is a very basic configuration. I only have 100 IPs being given out. This environment is very scalable, and that configuration file is available right here for free, no charge. Everything I'm doing is open source, non-profit. This is the www.thejonas.net. Just type in DHCP. The Linux community has given so much to computer users. I feel I just, after learning how to configure this on my own and getting into Linux, I just like to give back as much as I can, especially with these tutorial videos. If it can help somebody, that's great. Click on search. There's the link for that configuration file. I just saved it in a simple text format, nothing fancy. So when you click on it, all you have to do is copy and paste it. So we'll just move that out of the way. And on this config file, I think it's kind of obvious that you would change your domain name here and you would change your IP scheme. It's probably a solid 20-25 areas that need to be changed. It's pretty straightforward. Make the appropriate changes and you should be good to go. Save it, and then your environment will populate into these groupings. And we will now start the server. Excellent. Started right up. Okay, now that key we created earlier, that DNS key, let's just go back here real quick. And if you remember correctly, it was X4J. And let's go to the DHCP, and under the key here, see if it populated over. Excellent. So we know they're talking. Let's change that key real quick. Just give me a moment. Had to pause the video there. Got too many windows open on the other screen. Let's change this to QA5. I mean, obviously the key in your environments are going to be different than mine. They're random, and there's numerous ones to choose from, but it's good to change them periodically. So QA5. File save. And go back to the bind configuration, QA5, and QA5. Alright, now I have an iPod here. I like to see if it picks up an IP address. Just one moment here and I'll turn it on. Excellent, iPod is turned on. And let's see if I have Windows 7 running. Windows 7 Ultimate Edition. This is an excellent operating system made by Microsoft. So let's just do an IP config release. And then we will flush the old DNS. And then we will renew the DNS. And hopefully, renew the IP address, and hopefully we'll pick up an IP address off this new environment we created called Linux.local. There it is, excellently. All right, let's see if this is communicating. You just move this out of the way, and we'll check this. IPs have been picked up under the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th option here in this menu, list active leases. This will tell you IPs that have been picked up by this server, or I'm sorry, not picked up, but have been given out. And there we go. That's my Windows PC, and that is my iPod. So they both picked up an IP address off of this environment. Let's see if we can talk to these devices. Now, for my Windows PC, I will try to ping Donald's iPod. Oh, no problem. Works immediately. And let's also see if we can get out to the internet. So there you have it. This environment we set up, DHCP gives out an address. It then passes the information using that key to the DNS, and it registers within the DNS. So we have a dynamic DNS using DHCP, and everything seems to be working just fine. I'm going to pause the video within this domain name system. It takes about 10 minutes for that record to populate. So let me pause this real quick and we'll check into it. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's check it out. Here is the forward zone and the reverse lookup zone, and there are records. Excellent. So this is now doing what we would like. Now, when we picked up the DNS, or I'm sorry, when the DHCP gave out the IP address and then it handed it off to the DNS to register it, these records don't always show up right away. Sometimes it's 2-3 minutes, sometimes it can be as much as 15 minutes. Behind the scenes, it's immediate. But as far as seeing the actual physical record, it can take, like I said, 10-15 minutes. So don't think it's not working, just give it a few minutes to populate. And this is an excellent tool for administering this. In Webmin here, under the bind, you can also see your zones here, and you can also see under this first option the records that were created. Webmin is an excellent tool for doing the initial configuration for these two components, but once you have it up and running, I highly recommend using the bind configuration GUI to view your reverse records and your A records created by, well, CentOS, Red Hat, I believe Fedora uses the same interface. Most of your distributions based on Red Hat. And now let's see from the server itself, let's try to ping the iPod. Oh, just spelled my name. There we go. So, out from the server too, so when you're coming from the Windows PC to any one of these devices, it sees it, pings it, coming out from the server. So everything seems to be working just as we planned. So in conclusion, thank you for watching my video on thejonas.net, and I plan on doing a few more videos in the future. Hopefully one on setting up a Linux file server to a Windows environment using Samba, setting up an Apache web server, hopefully one on OpenLDAP, and hopefully one on MySQL. Being in IT, I know there's many ways of accomplishing one task. I mean, everybody does it differently, but usually the end result is the end result, and it works. And I'm sure there's other ways of accomplishing this, but this is the way I've put together. As you can see, it works. And thank you for watching my video and visiting thejonas.net, and have a nice day.